Hello, everyone. I am Christian Holmes. I am a proud graduating senior at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. So if you guys do not mind standing on your feet with me, I'm going to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on to victory. Let us march on to victory. Let us march on to victory is won.
Good morning. Thank you, Christian Holmes. Thank you for blessing us with your incredible voice and for being part of today's program. Thank you, as always, to Governor Kemp and First Lady Kemp, our Lieutenant Governor, Burt Jones, legislators of the Georgia General Assembly, to the presidents and leaders of our HBCU colleges in Georgia represented here today, and to the many students and graduates of Georgia's HBCUs. My name is Senator Sonia Halpern, and I am honored to welcome you to the beautiful Georgia State Capitol as we convene for our third annual HBCU Heritage Day. Thank you again, Governor Kemp and First Lady Kemp, for joining us here today and once again presenting this celebration in partnership with my office. Thank you. So today we salute Georgia's 10 historically black colleges and universities, better known as HBCUs. Our university system of Georgia institutions, Albany State University, Fort Valley State University, and Savannah State University. And our private institutions, Clark Atlanta University, the Interdenominational Theological Center, Morehouse College, Morehouse School of Medicine, Morris Brown College, Payne College, and Spelman College. I said the names out loud because they represent the best of our country's 103 HBCUs. As the 8th largest state in the country and home to 10 HBCUs, Georgia is the model state for higher education excellence and has the opportunity to set the bar forever on the national stage. Today, I am calling for us to create and launch the first state-level version of a White House HBCU initiative. I'm proposing an Georgia HBCU initiative led out of this building to create sustainable public-private and philanthropic partnerships as well as private sector initiatives to promote centers of academic research and program excellence at Georgia's HBCUs. I call also on my colleagues to create the first ever Senate HBCU internship program. Let's host an annual meeting with the HBCU alumni associations for all HBCUs with chapters here in Georgia. The more the better when it comes to excellence. These esteemed institutions have shaped and graduated young people who become leaders in academia, business, sports, arts, civic, and faith community. And let's not forget that here in Georgia, they've also contributed over $1.3 billion to Georgia's economy annually. We are in a better place because of the heritage of Georgia's 10 HBCUs Thank you for coming. And now we will just have a quick prayer.
Y'all caught that she said quick because I'm Baptist, so I won't be before you long. Let us bow in prayer. Most precious Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We come to you this sacred hour now that our lives might be changed. And we thank you for your grace that keeps us day by day. Lord, it is our prayer that you would just simply have your way. Father, we thank you that our leadership of this state, our governor, our First Lady, our Lieutenant Governor, and all those presidents of the HBCUs have assembled here on today. God, would you just continue to guide the leadership of this state, that they may have a hand on our HBCUs so that they may grow and continue to prosper. We ask all of these things in your most wonderful, precious name we do pray. And everyone said together, amen. Now I have the awesome, distinct privilege to introduce our next speaker, and that is President French. In 2019, George T. French Jr. became the 5th president of Clark Atlanta University, the largest United Negro College Fund member institution in the country and the largest private HBCU within the state of Georgia. Prior to his appointment, French served for 14 years as the president of Miles College, making him one of the longest-serving university presidents in the nation. A nationally recognized leader and influencer in higher education and educational policy, French has served 3 secretaries of education under the United States presidents as a congressional appointee to the National Advisory Committee on Institutional Quality and Integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in a warm welcome as we receive George T. French Jr., President of Clark Atlanta University, and also the President of the AUC.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Senator, for that introduction. Most certainly to the Governor, Governor Kemp, First Lady Marty, to our Lieutenant Governor, Governor Jones, the First Lady of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. Bacon French, to the Secretary of State, to Senator Sonia Halpern, to all constitutional officers here, to my colleague presidents, those presidents that the senator named, those schools, the hardest working university presidents in the nation right here in Georgia. Give it up for my colleagues again. You all stand up. We want to recognize you all again. My colleagues, thank you all so much. I have my colleague from Albany State University, from Payne College, from Fort Valley State University, from Morris Brown College, from the ITC, from Fort Valley State, Savannah State University, and representing Morehouse College. Thank you, colleagues, for being here. And most certainly, we have found ourselves here appreciative, Governor Kemp, for your courage as being the only Republican that visited Clark Atlanta University. And we took good care of you. Thank you. It is my distinct pleasure to stand very quickly before you today to thank the state of Georgia, because Senator Halpern is correct. We have an opportunity to lead the nation in displaying partnerships in how a state can support HBCUs economically and socially. Why? Because we are 20,000 strong. 20,000 of the best and brightest students that you will find in the nation. 20,000 students that come here from all over the world. They meet their mates, they find churches, they find synagogues, and they remain and contribute to our economy. The senator was right. $1.3 billion is what we contribute annually. We are unapologetically black excellence. That's who we are, and that's what we do. So thank you, Senator, for leading the effort on the bipartisan committee, and we look forward to establishing the first replication of the White House initiative on HBCUs right here in Georgia, because believe it or not, because of Clark Atlanta, because of Morehouse, because of Savannah, because of Fort Valley State, because of Morris Brown, because of ITC, because of Payne, because of Albany State, everybody in the country is saying that Georgia is on my mind.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Sandra G. Scott, and I serve District 76 out of Clayton County. And as you can see, I am a graduate of Florida A&M University. Dr. Paul A. Jones. Dr. Jones was appointed to serve as the 10th president of Fort Valley State University in December 2015. Before joining Fort Valley State University, Dr. Jones served 2 years as the interim president at Darden State College in Albany, Georgia. Dr. Jones served in numerous senior leadership roles at Georgia College and State University. He also was a professor of educational administration of Georgia College. Dr. Jones is also a member of several boards to include the Medical Center of Peach County Board of Directors, Navient Health Board, Fort Valley State University Foundation Board of Governors, and Dr. Jones and his wife Sylvia was named 2012 Alumni of the Year at Utah State University. Please welcome Dr. Jones.
Well, good morning, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Senators. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning with you, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of the public HBCUs in Georgia, representing Albany State, President Marion Frederick and President Kimberly Ballard Washington of Savannah State University. We appreciate you allowing us to be here today on this very special day, and we also want to welcome all of our students that are here today from across the state. HBCUs have and continue to play a vital role in our country and beyond. In a recent U.S. University System of Georgia economic impact study, Georgia's public HBCUs had a statewide economic impact of $540 million and an economic employment impact of more than 5,100 jobs. Georgia's public HBCUs represent nearly 12,000 students, conferred annually roughly 2,500 degrees, and importantly, nearly 80% of its students are Pell Grant recipients, and many more are first-generation students. This means that from a social mobility perspective, we have an awesome task of helping students to climb the important social ladder of success, which not only changes their lives, but it changes the lives of generations to come. These state-supported institutions are diverse and are vital to the state's economy. Located in Middle, Coastal, and South Georgia, these institutions play a pivotal role in Georgia's healthcare, marine science, and agricultural economies, and so much more. We are also proud of the number of STEM graduates that we produce each year, which is important to our state's economy. An investment in these institutions has a direct correlation to the overall impact of the state's economy. As Georgia's public institutions, we rely much more so than our private counterparts on the federal, state, and local funding. So now is the time. The time is now for reinvestment, not divestment. Let's continue to uplift these institutions that are so important to our state's economy. Thank you again for having us here today to celebrate and recognize the contributions that we make to Georgia's economy. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Jason Anavitarde, and I have the opportunity to serve as the chairman of the Majority Caucus in the Senate and also represent almost 200,000 residents in West Georgia, including Paulding County, Georgia, where I live. I want to thank Senator Halpern for bringing us here this morning, as she always does, and it was an honor to serve on the HBCU study committee that she also chaired, as we look to find ways to advance the mission of all the HBCUs in Georgia through her work, and hopefully one day we'll be passing an HBCU bill in the Senate, and the House will pass it and the governor will sign it. It's my distinct honor to introduce to you the 13th Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. He's a former colleague of mine in the Senate from Middle Georgia. He's a small business owner. He has run businesses, started businesses. He's played football at a university that I won't talk about since I went to Georgia Tech. He'll get me later, but very proud of this gentleman for the work that he's done to advancing the lives of Georgians in the higher education, K-12, but most importantly to my heart is moving those that live in poverty to get them jobs and employment and seeing prosperity in our state for the many decades and decades to come for my kids and their grandkids down the road. So without further ado, the 13th Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Burt Jones.
Good morning. It is good to be with y'all this morning. I appreciate everybody coming down to the Capitol today. I'm looking forward to the lunch I'm having later on with the presidents of our historically black colleges and universities here in the state of Georgia. There's no question that the 10 public and private institutions it is a long and proud and rich tradition that we have here in the state of Georgia, and I want you to know the state of Georgia is proud of that rich tradition. And I appreciate Senator Halpern for all of her hard work. Let me tell you, I have been down here 10 years, and I've served with many colleagues who maybe had one college in mind. They might have had Fort Valley in mind or Savannah State in mind or whatever, but the good senator from Atlanta here has made sure you should give her a round of applause. She has made a strong effort in making sure that we are partners with our colleges and universities, and we want to try to do that. And so I'm looking forward to continuing the work that the senator has done, and want to be a partner with her in those initiatives that we have. And it is a good day to be in Georgia, and just proud to be with the governor and the first lady here. And I think they can. I think you'll see that he and I are on the same page when it comes to this issue as well. So without further hesitation, I'd like to introduce the senator that's made it all happen today, Senator Halpern.
Yes. So, let's see.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly introduce a man who really needs no introduction, our Governor, Brian Kemp. He, of course, is a husband, a father, a businessman, a public servant, an entrepreneur, and he built his first business, Kemp Development and Construction Company, and understands what hard work is, and always keeps the minds of Georgians to the forefront every day when he thinks about the needs of this state and the direction that we need to move. So 30-something years later, he sits as our 83rd governor and has brought much economic success to this state, to communities across the state of Georgia, championing us as the #1 place to do business in the country. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, our governor, Mr. Brian Kemp.
Well, thank you all very much. Thank you, Senator Halpern, for that. And good morning, everyone. On behalf of our great First Lady, Marty Kemp, we are honored to be here today, and I certainly want to thank the great leaders that we have from our HBCUs for spending time with us today. I also want to thank Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones for his steadfast support of HBCUs, the rest of the legislators that are here this morning. Particularly just want to thank Dr. French for his leadership, and also Dr. Jones for his comments earlier. I want to also thank the members of the General Assembly that have had words for us this morning, Representative Mallow and Senator Anna Vertarte, and also Representative Scott. I appreciate somebody from Florida A&M being here to celebrate Georgia's HBCUs. That says a lot about us. But we're just so grateful for opportunities like this, and are so grateful that you all are in the Capitol with us today on what you can see is a very busy day and what will be a busy couple of weeks. Some of the nation's most noted leaders graduated from our historic black colleges and universities right here in the great state of Georgia, both public and private. And many of the guests here today are distinguished alumni. We are proud to be home to some of the most renowned HBCUs in the country that have produced major figures like Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosalind Brewer, one of only 2 black female CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, legendary singer and band leader Cab Calloway, Ralph Abernathy, whose name is prominent throughout our capital city, the civil rights leader James Weldon Johnson, who famously wrote the lyrics to Lift Every Voice and Sing, Keisha Knight Pulliam, who of course charmed all Americans as Rudy Huxtable, and her other roles, and many, many more. The students who have walked these campuses of this proud history have broken barriers in science and engineering, in art, in culture, in the very course of events of our state and our nation. It is important that we continue to build on that valued legacy. In many cases, HBCUs open the door for educational opportunity that did not exist before, as Dr. Jones just alluded to. That is why we have made and will continue to make key investments to further the good work of our HBCUs and other institutions. Last year, we allocated $230 million to eliminate the special institution fee at our public universities and colleges, including our 3 HBCUs here in Georgia. And this year, I proposed an additional $61.2 million to fully fund the Hope Scholarship and grant awards at 100% of tuition for all public higher education in the state. I will continue to advocate for that increase as the budget moves forward in the process, because it would save an average of $444 for all full-time students each year, on top of savings from no longer having to pay the institution fee. But even more so, fully funding Hope represents what we're talking about today, connecting opportunity to learners from literally all communities. As we all know, having the right teacher can also make a world of difference. And that's why, as part of my office's teacher pipeline package that passed a couple of years ago, we included a provision that requires the Professional Standards Commission to work closely with HBCUs to attract greater numbers of minority teachers into the field. Students from all backgrounds should be able to see themselves in their teachers, and that's what this measure does. We also appreciate and need your students in Georgia's workforce. As was mentioned, Georgia is the #1 state in the country for business, and the students that you are pumping out in arts, entertainment, engineering, medicine, business, and more are vital to our future in the state. And by working together with the leaders and students at the HBCUs represented here today, and by working with local and state officials and with other educational leaders, we will continue to celebrate and support our HBCUs, because they are an important part of why Georgia remains the best place to live, work, and raise a family. So thank you again for your partnership in these efforts, and also for what you're doing to prepare the next generation of leaders in our state. Congratulations on another successful year, and for your steadfast work, God bless.
Well, we have come to the end of our program, but I want to remind us that it is incumbent upon us to make sure that the legacy of HBCUs continues, so that these institutions for higher education can continue to not only make an impact on African Americans, but also on our communities, our state, and our nation. I do have a resolution marking today as HBCU Heritage Day, which I will get to each of our presidents. And separately, I have a resolution actually honoring each of you for your leadership your steadfast guidance and direction that you give these important schools every single day. Thank you for everything you do. To our Governor and First Lady, Lieutenant Governor, General Assembly colleagues, and of course, again, our HBCU presidents and their institutions, thank you for what you do and what you mean to historically black colleges and universities here in Georgia. I want to thank each and every single one of you for attending today's HBCU Heritage Day 2023. So let's give a final round of applause to all of our honorees: Albany State University, Clark Atlanta University, Fort Valley State University, the Interdenominational Theological Seminary, Morehouse School of Medicine, Morehouse College, Morris Brown College, Payne College, and Savannah State College. Thank you to each of you for what you do. Thank you for celebrating with us again today. I can never talk about HBCUs without just saying that though I did not go to one myself, I am the beneficiary of an HBCU education, having parents who both grew up in the 1940s in Jim Crow, Mississippi on farms, who found their way to an HBCU and created a life that they never could have dreamed of for themselves and my sister and I. So keep doing the work that you're doing, and thank you again. Thank you, everybody.